How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Twigger coming at you with another high ELO commentary, this time featuring Dignitas' jungler Crumbz. As we all know, Crumbz is an absolutely incredible jungler for Team Dignitas, and this time he's playing his beloved Lee Sin, so it should be a fantastic game to watch on his part. But some other pretty big names that are in this game as well. Cloud9, which was originally Quantic Gaming until they got a new sponsor, Lemon Nation, the support player for Cloud9, and also Sneaky, who is Sneaky Castro. The bot lane duo for Cloud9. So Sneaky Castro and Lemon Nation playing their bot lane should be fantastic to see. And Sneaky Castro actually playing a Jace as the AD carry in the bot lane. So kind of an interesting pick. Gonna be cool to see how he plays out when a high ELO player. Making his impressions on Jace in the bot lane as the AD carry. And last but not least in this game, one of the my favorite people to commentate actually is Wild Turtle. This is his alternate account. He dropped the E, but it is actually Wild Turtle, just another account he plays on. But what's going to be fun about this game is that he's not playing the AD carry. He's playing Irelia up in the top lane. So going to be kind of cool to see if his game mechanics for his ADC really translate up to his top lane gameplay as Irelia. And you very rarely get to see Irelia nowadays. A lot of people have just been saying in the high ELO and LCS scene that Irelia is really not a great 2v1 champion, and that tends to happen so frequently nowadays in high ELO games. So she does kind of get left out a little bit. I know that Evil Genius's Wicked was probably, I would argue, the best Irelia player in the world for that time. And even he says, like, he never gets to play it anymore because if you get caught in that 2v1 situation as Irelia, it's very, very difficult for you to get the kind of farm that you need. But going to be cool to see Wild Turtle on this Irelia. Don't exactly know how he got picked to go up into the top lane. Rather than him just playing the ADC for the team. This is a ranked game, definitely Diamond ELO. But I would have loved to see some kind of preliminary action between Wild Turtle and Sneaky Castro and Lemon Nation. Just because the North American LCS is not started up yet for the summer series. It's the summer split. I believe that's happening next weekend. So definitely going to be fun to watch that one with all the new teams coming in and the Redux CLG, and it's going to be very, very cool. So I would have liked to see a little bit of a preliminary teaser about how Wild Turtle fares up against Sneaky Castro in that ADC role. But already having a little bit of problems. So clearly Wild Turtle's top lane is incredible because not only is he CSing well, 5-0 for the Malphite, but he even made Malphite DC. That's how good of a top laner Wild Turtle seems to be. He just makes the person DC. That's a pretty easy way to win your lane. I'm just going to set these things up a little bit here so that we actually know what's going on. There we go. Oh, nope, Janna, you are not there. You are in the support lane. So I really hope that Malphite does come back. I would hate for this to be kind of a very one-sided game. Especially, Irelia is very, very strong in that late game. That whole better nerf Irelia slogan. So if Malphite doesn't come back and Irelia is just kind of allowed to free farm top lane, because I'm assuming at least is going to want to roam and get some kind of jungle pressure, because when you're missing one player from your team, an entire lane is empty, your jungler can't go out and roam. It's pretty much going to be top lane Elise right now until Malphite gets back. But as we can see, Crumbz getting ready for this gank right here. Does manage to land the Q onto Elise. She's going to repel up though. And going to come back down. I really want direct to camera to go and look at that one. It looks like she's actually going to get away from that one. So I guess the repel lasted just long enough that Lee Sin's Q did not allow him to get the resonating strike off. So can't complain about that Elise play. But as I was talking about it, Malphite does come back. Very, very good to see. He's going to stack up with a couple pots and go back to this lane. He is going to be pretty far behind, already sitting 15 CS behind Irelia. Not the position that you want to be coming back into, but in all honesty, coming back behind is better than not coming back at all. So I definitely don't think he's going to be complaining about that situation. But Sneaky Castro taking quite a bit of damage in that bot lane from that Vayne, getting a nice condemn in there and getting the true damage from those 3 silver bolts. And talking about damage as well, Kassadin being taken down pretty low from the Xerath. As a lot of us already know, Kassadin has a very, very weak early game, pre-6, definitely. Until he gets that Rift Walk. But against somebody like a Xerath, who has so much pressure with those stuns and that long-range Q. He's got great harass, so he's just going to make Kassadin's life a living hell in these early stages of the game. But Malphite's now getting a gank from Elise in that top lane against Wild Turtle. This would be a very good comeback for this Malphite if he can manage to get a kill here. The flash having to be burned by Wild Turtle, so overall, very, very good gank. Malphite does still have his flash available, but Elise's flash is down. I believe that happened in the last gank. Well, not the last gank. Well, yeah, the last gank. Actually, Lee Sin when he came up to attack that Elise. And as we're talking about a gank, Lee Sin is actually already here for this Malphite, going to try to abuse the lower level Malphite. There's the shield going down to Wild Turtle. He does try to get into Malphite, but the flash being used as well as the ignite, going to be able to take down Irelia. And now Elise is just having a field day with Crumbz here. Not going to have enough damage to actually finish that one off. If she landed the cocoon, she might have been able to finish him, but without landing that, he's just going to run back into that turret. So overall, a nice little play from Irelia trying to double Q back onto Malphite, but he was just not low enough for them to take that one down. It looks like Crumbz is getting dove here now. A lot of damage going down onto this Elise. It's going to be enough to pick her off, so still does work in favor of the red team getting that assist and also getting the experience for that kill. Crumbz did miss out on the experience, but these high ELO players in the LCS, like Crumbz and Wild Turtle, are definitely not people you want to be giving kills to. You definitely don't want to trade 1-for-1 on those. It was a 2-for-1 technically, because it was kind of a prolonged fight, but still, Crumbz Lee Sin, you really don't want having any kills on him, because now he's going to be able to really impact the map. So let's do a little breakdown of the CS here while we got a little bit of downtime while the junglers are running back to their respective jungles. 26-22 in favor of Irelia, so Malphite actually making quite the comeback here. The ultimate actually being used by Xerath onto this... Oh, he did manage to get the... And that's actually going to be enough. I was going to say this Kassadin, but the name completely left me. So, Xerath picking up that kill, as well as Kassadin picking up the kill on Xerath. Kassadin did get the kill first, so he's going to get the experience for that. But still, overall, a great play. I can't believe that Xerath managed to get that last R proc off, which sealed the deal for Kassadin. Pretty impressive play. But the main difference here, I would say, is that Xerath did not use his flash, while Kassadin did. So Kassadin is not normally prone to being ganked, just because he does have his Rift Walk, but he is missing just that little extra bit of escape. So if Xerath can land a nice stun, could be worrisome for that Kassadin. But looking at the CS, so 36-27, Malphite doing a pretty good job getting back into this lane. 27-28 for the junglers in favor of Elise, but very, very close. 39-34 in favor of Xerath. But can't talk about that yet because the ultimate from Irelia being used, not going to be enough to clean up this Malphite, but if he stays for a little bit longer, I think Wild Turtle might just be able to dive that one. He doesn't have his Ignite up, so it would still be quite risky, but he is just going to go straight in for that one, gets one more shot, and that's going to be enough to kill him. Is he going to get one more turret shot? The turret shot is going to be enough to pick up Wild Turtle, and as I'm talking about that, the J Sneaky Caster and Elimination picking up Vayne. Oh, Wild Turtle, that's so unfortunate. If he had his flash available, he would have been able to get out of that one, but the slow from Malphite's Q doing just enough to keep Irelia in that turret range for that little extra bit of time. Back down to the CS, so Xerath leading in that CS, which really should be the case because Kassadin has a very difficult time in that early game, but he's managed to keep up pretty well, so he's going to like that one because he's going to become a late game terror. Big difference, though, 68-48 in favor of that Vayne over Sneaky. So 20 CS lead, definitely a big deal. Kassadin taking a little bit of poke here. Both of these casters now have their blue buffs. Actually, Kassadin does not have his blue buff. I don't know if Elise might have taken that one. I'm actually going to check that one out. So yeah, no, Elise doesn't have it. Does Kassadin? Kassadin does have blue buff. I can barely see it. Man, open your eyes, Ian. So, Vayne picking up a few CS underneath the turret, 72-54. Quite a big difference, but Jace does have that initial kill. And he's just been stacking up his tier of the Goddess this entire time. Already sitting at 152, so still has a ways to go before that's going to stack up fully into that, that mirror mana. But here comes Elise, the Wild Growth being used on the Vayne. She is going to try to ultimate and tumble away to get invisible, but great Cocoon landing and Sneaky picking up that one with a great accelerated Shock Blast. And now it looks like Lulu being the target, but not actually going to engage on that one. She was under the turret, would have been a little bit too risky. So once again, Wild Turtle trying to apply as much pressure onto this Malphite as humanly possible. Malphite coming back with a lot of pots. A few mana pots and a few health pots. really just wants to stay up here and try to get as much CS as he can, try to just catch up to Wild Turtle. There's the ultimate being popped by Malphite. He's really feeling ballsy here. Thinks that he can do enough damage. Can he get one more Q? But a great stun by Wild Turtle, picking up Malphite underneath that turret, getting the stun down, getting a few turret shots, and putting off a ton of true damage with that W. Great fight there by Wild Turtle. And he still has his flash up, so didn't have to burn anything for that one. So there's a great little advantage coming for that Irelia. And he's just going to sit up here and increase that CS lead by just a little bit more. Xerath trying to do a little bit of poke damage onto that Kassadin, but not really going to end up being anything. Kassadin going to go back, and what's he going to pick up? Just that early Blasting Wand. He's really trying to rush that Rod of the Ages with that early Catalyst. Has great lane sustain with that Elixir, but if he can get that Rod of the Ages, he can definitely survive the hard burst damage out of Xerath and any ganks that might come his way, and it stacks so well into the late game, getting all those Rod of Ages stacks. Other than that, are there any big items that are coming out? Xerath opting for that Chalice of Harmony, going to be turning that into an Athene's probably the moment that he can. I guess he's burning through a little bit more mana than he wants to. But here comes Wild Turtle again, trying to do as much damage to Malphite as he can. But Wild Turtle does not have his Ignite up this time, while Malphite also does not have his Ignite up. But Crumbz jumping over that wall, trying to pick off that Janna, but not going to work. I don't know if he's going to be able to escape this one. And same with Wild Turtle. Don't think he's going to get out of this one. Gets picked up by Cryptic Recoil on that Elise. But Crumbz does manage to get over that wall, probably using a Safeguard and Iron Will combo just to get out of that. But this brush is warded, so Jace might just send a Shock Blast. No, he's not going to. But great Shock Blast coming out of Jace. Doing just a little bit of damage. There's the jump in, and not actually going to follow up on that one. There's the... Nope, not going to get that third shot onto Jace from that Vayne, get that true damage out. He's already got a Bilgewater Cutlass, but here's a stun going down onto Kassadin. I don't think Xerath really wants to fight this one, wants to try to get under his turret, because Kassadin does do quite a bit of damage. So no other big particular items coming out. Wild Turtle's kind of opting for that Blade of the Ruin King build. Already building that Bilgewater Cutlass and Adorn's Blade. Same with that Vayne. Vayne not actually getting her boots yet, so if they manage to jump in on her, she's not going anywhere quickly. Going to really have to rely on her ult, tumble, and condemn. Some pretty good escape maneuvers there, but definitely does have to be a little bit more careful because she doesn't have that move speed. So there's a turret shot going down onto that Kassadin, but here comes the Elise, already doing so much damage, but the Q not landing. Q's not coming out of, but that doesn't really matter. Crumbz is trying to pick something up here. Great Cocoon landing onto Xerath, but I don't know why there wasn't a Q coming out of Kassadin there to pick that one up, but a nice little Spiderling coming out of Elise, just picking that lovely little kill up after a great Cocoon. Janna being taken very, very low. So, but Lemon Nation is an absolutely incredible support, so he definitely knows what he's doing here. Definitely knows that he can take a little bit more punishment. But as we're talking about that, Wild Turtle picks up that top turret. These guys aren't really fighting each other right now, and as I say that, Wild Turtle's going to start fighting them. They're really just focused more on farm, and currently Wild Turtle is winning that battle 85-58. Nice little reverse numbers there. And now Crumbz trying to make a gank happen in that bot lane, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And as I'm talking about that, Kassadin picks up his blue buff, which is even more scary. Kassadin at 1-1-1, finishing up that Rod of the Ages. And there's the slow and the silence onto Crumbz, taking quite a bit of damage from that little combo. Kassadin is just one of those scary, scary carries that if he gets a few kills under his belt, he's going to go very, very far in that late game. There's a condemn and a knockback. And the Cocoon landing onto Xerath. This is going to be enough to pick him up. There it is, the E coming out of Kassadin, picking that one up. Janna shielding herself to make sure that she doesn't get killed by these Vayne bolts. And while all this is going on, Wild Turtle is continuing to push this top lane. He's just applying so much pressure. So I guess that kind of makes sense with he is such an aggressive AD carry playstyle, and it's just translating up to that top lane. He's CSing really well. His game mechanics are all there. And he's just playing super aggressive against his lane partner, really kind of bullying him. And it's, at some point, I think he's going to start forcing Elise up to this top lane. But as I'm talking about that, Elise is up in this top lane, and Aurelia's going to want to probably get out of here. There's the repel going down, and Aurelia's going to turn and stun that one. Here comes the Cocoon. Does manage to land, but Aurelia, with her passive, is going to get out of that one pretty darn quick. And nothing's really going to come from that one. Yeah, pretty boring gank. So while Turtle probably waiting for his ultimate to come back up, we'll probably clear out the wave, and then I would expect him to go and buy. Sitting on 1,100 gold. And Kassadin sitting on 1,100 as well. He's going back right now. What's he going to pick up? Picks up his Sork boots. Scary, scary stuff on that Kassadin. And Sneaky Castro now having finished his Manamune. So definitely a big deal there, because now his auto attacks are going to be giving him mana as well. He's going to stack that up very quickly, already sitting at 525. Great little tumble out of the way of that accelerated shock blast. And it looks like Xerath is coming down, trying to make something happen here with this Lee Sin. Not sure if they're going to be able to make something happen here, but Janna warding up that dragon, it looks like. And it looks like Xerath is just going to run away from this one. Lee Sin is standing right on top of a ward in that tri-brush. So at least he's just going to wait right there. And look at the damage coming out of this Kassadin. He does manage to get a stun down. Talking about Xerath, of course. But look at the damage coming down with that Ignite and the E combo. Holy crap. And there's a killing spree for Sneaky Castro onto Vayne. It looks like they are going to try to dive this Lulu, but not going to happen. But here comes Lee Sin, and Kassadin is here as well. There's the kill for Sean Tan on this Kassadin, doing so much damage. A great stun from this Janna, managing to knock up Lee Sin. There's the double kill for Kassadin. And it looks like Irelia killed somebody as... Who did Irelia kill? Oh, Irelia killed Jace, so did manage to pick up a kill there, but Irelia is now in a lot of trouble being dove by these three people on this red team, and the Ignite is not going to be enough to pick up this Elise. So overall, great plays coming out of this red team. And there's evening up the turrets. The top lane turret was taken for the blue team, and now the bot lane turret was taken by this red team. And some pings are going down for the Dragon, but I don't think they're going to do that one. They are a little bit low, especially Elise does not want to get just picked off and sniped down. I don't think Malphite's going to have enough to take down this turret. No, you know what? He probably will, because Irelia is not even up yet. So it's probably going to be 2 turrets to the 1. There it is, Shifty Ant picking that one up. So right now the score 5-14 in favor of that red team, 22.1k to 26.3k, and having a turret advantage. So the C9 bot lane duo sitting pretty darn well in that bot lane. 0-0-6 for Janna Lemon Nation, and 3-1-1 for Sneaky Castro, or just Sneaky. I don't know if he just changed his name completely to Sneaky, if that's what he wants to be called, or if he still goes by Sneaky Castro. So I'll just continue to I'm going to call him Sneaky, because that's currently what it is. But for those of you who did watch Quanta Gaming, things like that, he was Sneaky Castro previously. I've not actually been able to do a commentary of Lemon Nation, and he is, I would argue, one of the best supports in the game right now. I would say up there with kind of X Special, and I would say Patoy as well. Lemon Nation going to be a very big factor, I think, for C9 in the LCS, because it's in these very high ELO games and in the competitive scene where your support player with their warding and with their oracles, and it makes a gigantic difference. They really do carry a team in their own way. So having a very strong support player is absolutely paramount to have on your team. Look at that damage coming out of that Kassadin. Vayne being taken down now. There's the double kill, and Kassadin going so damn quickly because of that acceleration gate. And there's another kill coming out of that Elise, sitting at 6-1-3, and that Kassadin at 7-1-3, and now Xerath is just going to be absolutely dominated. This Kassadin 8-1-3 with 139 CS. I don't know how you deal with that, folks. He is just so strong. And it looks like after getting that pretty early Seeker's arm guard, he's probably going to go for that early Zhonya's. And look at that, already has 2,100 gold. Going to be 2,200 gold when he comes back. That will be enough to finish off his Zhonya's. I think that's probably what he's going to do. He's B right. Is he B right now? No, he's just going to chill in this mid lane. Pushing down that turret a little bit. No, there you go. Now he's going to hit the turret. So if he goes back, he's going to finish off that Zhonya's, and then I don't really know how you deal with him. Because at that point, you can Rift Walk in, do as much damage as you want with your E and your Q combos, and then you can just Zhonya's and then Rift Walk right out. So there's the silence and The Shockwave slowing everybody down. Crumbz trying to get some damage out on here, but he has just enough mana for another Riftwalk. Gets him right out of that one. Crumbz missing that Q, so it didn't really help. But Janna actually, Lemon Nation with a very interesting build, getting that Morella Nomicon. Really wants to do a little bit of damage as Janna, and it also, people seem to kind of underestimate Janna's AP ratios. That's why mid lane Janna sometimes does actually get played, because her shield with some AP just does an absolute ton. Like, this is already shielding for, let's see this one. Let's follow Janna for a little bit here. See, look at that. Already shielding for about 300 damage. Quite an impressive shield there. And also her Monsoon already healing for about 160 damage while knocking people back. So it's already a pretty good heal as well. So you just get a little bit of AP, and not only are you helping your team a ton with your shields and your heal, but you're also doing a little bit of damage. So at least getting kicked right back into that second turret, the inhibitor turret there, but not going to be enough to actually take her down. She just repels completely away from that one. Lemonation using his Monsoon to try to heal everybody up, at least heal himself up. At least is just completely out of this one, just running kind of back a little bit. And legendary Kassadin doing as much as he can to take down this team, using that Zhonya's Hourglass, which he did pick up. There's a double kill for Kassadin, but taking so much damage from these turrets, I think he's just going to run into this fountain. Yep. Tried to suicide, but there's no way that that was long enough. But the good thing about him dying, running that far away, is that he did take Vayne and Lulu away from that inhibitor turret, so it was just a very, very easy takedown for the rest of that red team. And this is just going to be a free inhibitor. 21 minutes into the game, and there's the first inhibitor taken down for this red team. They are just doing so well. Kassadin and Elise doing an incredible job. So there's the flash coming out of Wild Turtle. I don't know if it's going to be enough to pick anybody up, and nope, a great little knockback from that Jace. Lemon Nation surviving with a sliver of health. Thank God for those shields. Barely surviving with any 30 HP by the end of that one. That Ignite ticking down, but not quite enough. So it was an honest and nice attempt there, Wild Turtle. The blue team's surrender vote coming out, but not managing to get through. 3-2. This game certainly isn't over. It looks like Elise doesn't have anything to jump to here. It has to flash over top of the wall. I don't think they're going to be able to catch that one. She is quite fast in her spider form. This game is certainly not over, but it is definitely not easy for blue team to come back with such a fed Kassadin, and especially one that has not only the Rod of Ages for great survivability, having a lot of health and a lot of mana, but also having that Zhonya's Hourglass, being able to escape so easily. And look at the damage that he did to that Xerath. There's the Hourglass dodging the majority of Xerath's ultimate, and then he's just going to rift walk right over to that Xerath and kill him. Kick coming out of Lee Sin. He's pretty big with that Wild Growth, but it looks like Kassadin is just going to rift walk away, not managing to pick him up. So just a free kill for Kassadin. Looks like he might try to come back in here to pick up as many kills as he can. I really trying to jump in on that one, but gets slowed down by his E. Malphite picking up the Lulu. Great amount of damage, and he's so tanky. And Kassadin once again just standing on the outside, tossing in those Qs and those Es. They're stacking up so quickly just because of how many spells are being cast here. And now Crumbz is left all by himself with the 3 people. Triple kill for that Kassadin, even though he had to get out of that fight. So much damage coming from him. He doesn't even need to be in the middle of that fight. He just sits on the outside and tosses out those Es and those Qs and just annihilates people. And for somebody like Malphite, who was DC'd at the beginning of that game, he's already up to 164 CS, 327 with that Frozen Heart and that Sunfire Cape. I think this is going to be the end of the game. They have just steamrolled the blue team. And it's going to be 6 seconds till Crumbz is back up. This is going to be GG, so good game to the Cloud9 bot lane duo, the Lemon Nation and Sneaky, doing so much work. And props to that Kassadin and that Elise. They had some incredible game. They did have an incredible game. 149 CS, 14-2-4 on that Kassadin. So sorry, Wild Turtle and Crumbz, you guys did play pretty well, but definitely not enough to compete with that enemy team. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this commentary. I will see you guys in the next one, and definitely pay attention to the LCS when it comes back. I believe it's next week. Going to be some incredible games, and hopefully I'll be able to post some highlights or some big things going on. And definitely pay attention to my channel. Going to be a lot more videos coming your way in just about a day or so. I think I've got a lot more content coming out. So have a good one, guys. See you next time.